Welcome to TravelScout channel. For today's video, we will take you to Toronto, Canada. We will be going to explore Toronto and discover the best places to visit, things to do, what to eat, and everything that makes your stay here memorable. But before we start, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more future updates here on the TravelScout channel. Toronto, the capital of Ontario, is the largest city in Canada and also one of the most divergent. It's home to an influential mix of tourist attractions from museums and galleries to the world-famous CN Tower, and just a short drive away is Niagara Falls. So, let's start exploring Toronto. The Royal Ontario Museum. One of the best things to do in Toronto is to visit Royal Ontario Museum, especially for those with an interest in different aspects of history, science, and art. With millions of pieces in more than 3 dozen galleries, you can see why the Royal Ontario Museum is such a cherished institution. In this museum, you can see things that are both historic and prehistoric. This gives visitors an exceptional glimpse into the past, even before there were any humans around. Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. Having an aquatic experience can be one of the best moments of your trip to Toronto, Canada. Those who love seeing and learning about fish and other water-loving species have to see this. At Ripley's Aquarium, which opened in 2013, there are hundreds of different species for you to wonder at. The Art Gallery of Ontario. Your eyes here will surely have a feast of some of the finest art you've ever seen. The Art Gallery of Ontario has been standing up for more than a century. This time has been used well, as the curators of this gallery have brought in outstanding pieces that go back thousands of years ago. You don't have to be an art collector to know about the eminence of some of the artists showcased here, such as Vincent van Gogh and Claude Monet. CN Tower. When people hear Toronto, they tend to think of the CN Tower. This has become not only one of the most exemplary monuments of Canada, but of North America. It's a piece of architectural brilliance that only gets better when you step inside and make your way up to the top. At the CN Tower, you will be amazed at what you will see in the city like never before. Given that it's more than 1,800 feet high, CN Tower can be a serious race to experience. Casa Loma. Toronto, Canada has some of the coolest castles, and one of these is Casa Loma. With its Gothic Revival architecture and rich history, Casa Loma carries on to be one of the best parts of Toronto. Casa Loma, which first opened as a residence in 1914, served as a museum since 1937. There are numerous of things to see at Casa Loma, including stables and gardens. Distillery Historic District. The Distillery Historic District in Toronto, Canada does have a rich whiskey-based heritage due to the addition of what was the Gooderham and Worts Whiskey Distillery. It's a place for all sorts of tourist needs, from fulfilling a hunger for food to one for shopping. The Distillery Historic District is also a prominent place for experiencing culture in Toronto. There are beautiful galleries and live performances. Bata Shoe Museum. Did you know that those things you wear on your feet every day have a lot of history behind them? You will know this by visiting Bata Shoe Museum. Over the ages, cultures have worn shoes for different purposes. Bata Shoe Museum shows how Asian cultures, indigenous American ones, and more have handled their respective weather and ground conditions through shoes. Bata Shoe Museum is one of the coolest Toronto attractions for those who have an eye for fashion. Hockey Hall of Fame. One of the most exciting activities is to come to the Hockey Hall of Fame, which houses this sought-after trophy. Hockey is one of the most exciting sports, and this museum shows why it's so cherished, especially in Toronto. This is also a great place to learn about hockey and some of the famous people behind the sport. Can also see items of classic hockey memorabilia and see a film at the TSN Theatre. West Queen West. This is a neighborhood that has redefined modern when it comes to Toronto. In this section of the city, you can feel like you're experiencing grandeur at a new level. if you do things right, you should be coming home with stories of memorable meals and purchases that you just have to show off right away. Some of the restaurants at West Queen West can seem humble, but the flavors are simply astonishing. Ontario Science Centre. Situated near downtown Toronto, this museum has been an essential part of the city when it comes to describing the wonders of science to children. A family day at the Ontario Science Centre can be your children's getaway into all sorts of enchanting subjects. High Park. It's downtown Toronto's biggest park, but its manner isn't the only reason why people come here. High Park has become one of the top experiences for anyone in Toronto due to how much magnificence and how many activities are available. At High Park, you can enjoy playgrounds with your kids, the High Park Zoo with your family, and play sports with your friends. Kensington Market. This neighborhood demonstrates some of the best of Toronto's diversity, both in its people and in its businesses. For more than a century, immigrants from countries like Ireland and Scotland, as well as those from Chinese patrimony and people from Central America and Africa, have found a new home in Kensington Market. Old Chinatown. This is one of the great Toronto attractions when it comes to showcasing the value of different cultures coming together. In terms of size, Old Chinatown sprawling out quite far. You can also expect to get an excellent Eastern-based meal and explore some of the most interesting shops in the whole city. Graffiti Alley. This is one of the finest parts of Toronto, Canada. It showcases how much skill is required for making street art that really goes off with a bang. Running for a little over half a mile, Graffiti Alley is like a clump of smaller pieces that come to be one huge one. Some of it's more composite than others, but each part of it is as essential as the one before and or after it. You can also very much appreciate how much color it brings into the surroundings. Black Creek Pioneer Village. Time machines might not yet be part of our world, but you can experience the antiquity of Canada when you come to Black Creek Pioneer Village. This museum gets you to experience someone living in the 19th century. You can really get a sense of what people did to get by during these vicious times. The numerous heritage buildings are some of the best parts of coming back to Black Creek Pioneer Village during the weekend. So, what do you think of our video? Please comment down below and don't forget to like, share, subscribe and click the notification bell for more future updates here on TravelScout channel. Thank you for watching.